So I'll begin with an interesting story because actually Mark, who isn't here, pointed out that there was a 3D TV for sale on Craigslist, and a 79-inch LG 3D TV, which I purchased from Dwayne here. And Dwayne had never seen 3D on his TV, and so I brought over a movie to test it with, and he was very impressed with the 3D, so I invited him and his wife to come to the meeting so he could see some more 3D on this TV.
So you want it back now?
I told him I was gonna take it back that day. Because it was
Welcome.
so good.
And so what we try and do is share photos that different people have taken, but we try and keep it casual. So if you see something that you have a question about, like, oh, where was that taken? Or, I mean, just speak up. It's not like a presentation where you have to, be quiet. We want everybody to enjoy and chat with everybody. And so anyway, I will get started. So welcome everybody to the meeting. We are streaming the meeting to both YouTube and Twitch. YouTube works well if you're trying to view it on a 3D TV. Twitch works well if you're trying to view it on a Lume Pad. And then, of course, we have StereoPix rooms. And so, anyway, the theme for this evening is nature. And let me get started here. So David has some photos to share, so I'll let David talk about his photos.
Okay, nature. Here's my grandson and my granddaughter enjoying the nature at Multnomah Falls, and I think they climbed in there themselves. That's their dad, and they were able to squeeze by themselves. But there they are enjoying nature.
Wow.
And here's a leaning tree. I just had to take a picture of it over at the coast. I don't know where it is. It's the coast someplace. The tree's leaning one way.
That's fine.
And the next one, that's what is it? The craters of the moon in Idaho. And that tree's leaning the other way. That's, in my opinion, that's nature.
Yeah, it's a good picture.
Nature just has to grow no matter what.
Yeah, and there's good depth in that photo.
Anyway, you all know what that is. Mount St. Helens, that's probably about 8 years afterwards, because you can see how big these green trees are. Maybe 20 years, I don't know. That's Superstition Mountain in, I think, New Mexico? I don't know where it is. Superstition Mountain and some river there. That's nature.
Oops.
Here's my S-stem rose. Turns out that the wind blew over the rose bush and the flower said, I can't grow on the side, I gotta grow up.
Yeah.
So it made the first bend. And then I wired the roses to the building, and they said, hey, I can't go down, I gotta go up. So that's why the rose made an S stem.
Cool.
Anyway, this poor little flower was just doing all it could in nature to survive. That's just there someplace.
Nice shadow. I like the defined shadow from the dandelion.
Yeah. Anyway, here's it's called, raindrops on a spider web, and I'll just have to say the spider is photoshopped in.
I love the way it goes over the frame like that.
Anyway, and we all lived in Oregon long enough to know what freezing rain is. It's part of nature. Here's a little bird. As you can tell, I photoshopped him in there, but anyway, I had to defocus the surroundings. That's why I need to work on that some more. But there's a little bird. This is a rock chuck, I think they call him, and it was up in Idaho. And my son-in-law says, "You gotta come over here and see the rock chuck." And sure enough.
So is that a wall that,
That's
like a wall that retain, like so that you don't fall into the,
they're just big rocks next to the river.
Just a rocky place.
okay.
Yeah, there's just lots of rocks there, and that thing lives in there.
Looks like a bear.
Yeah. Here, this is called the leafy leaf dragon fish, and it only exists in the southern coast of Australia, and they're very hard to raise in the aquarium. That was taken at the coast aquarium over the coast.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But they only exist in that one part of Australia.
What an amazing creature.
I can't imagine how they survived, how they, grew into looking like a plant.
Yeah, very different.
Oh, so it's not just wound into a plant, that whole thing is part of it.
Well, the fish is there. Those things in the background are obviously weeds or what?
In the far background, yeah,
Oh,
but all
but-
the foreground leafy stuff is part of the fish, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought he was winding himself through a plant.
No. That is the fish with all the leaves together.
That's pretty amazing.
They're hard to raise because they don't eat fish food. They kind of suck the larvae and weird things that float in the water. That's what they said. Anyway,
Interesting.
and there's a bat. We went caving once, and there's a bat was hiding himself up in the ceiling. All part of nature. This is a really hard picture because I took it probably 30 years ago with a Cha-Cha from the parking road, but that's the only one I had of two deers. It's awfully grainy and poor, but I had to take it.
It's a two-year worth.
And this is, you gotta imagine yourself, if you get up early enough in the morning, you can catch a fairy taking a bath in a mushroom. You gotta get up really early.
Yeah, nice job photoshopping the. I mean, you do a lot of that, I know.
Oh,
That's a good job.
That's what I'd like to do, is photoshopping. Anyway, that's the end.
Okay, thank you, David.
All right.
Good.
And Matt.
Hello again, everybody. This is one of my cave photos. I know I've shown these caves here before. These are the lava tubes at Lava Beds National Monument in Northern California. But I haven't shown this one. I took this one a couple of years ago. It's one of my favorites. You can see it's snowing through that skylight.
Wow. That's a lot of depth.
Now I know I've shown a different photo of this same tide pool taken just a few moments before with a different camera. But this, I think, is a superior photo. I was experimenting with polarized filters on my twin Sony cameras, and I'm very happy with the effect. There's no reflection on the surface of the water of the tide pool. You can see the sea anemones clearly. It was an interesting effect that I was happy with.
So your polarizer got rid of the reflections.
Precisely, yeah. I sure thought I had shown some of my wave photos. I took this not quite a year ago, and this is at Carmet Beach by Bodega Bay in California, of course. And I took a whole series of these. In fact, I went back a couple of weeks later, which is when I took this. And I'll be back another day when it's sunny, which is pretty rare there.
How fast was your shutter speed? You have any idea?
Very fast. I don't know exactly off the top of my head how fast it was, but these Sony cameras have a huge sensor and they're very light sensitive. At least 1/4000th of a second, I would say.
Yeah,
Up from
because it
there.
really froze the motion.
Yeah.
It really effectively does, and the synchronization is spot on with these Sony cameras. I've had some shots where the sync is a little bit off. In cases like this, really fast motion, but this one worked.
Yeah, I find with the Sony, if you try and take another shot too quickly, it doesn't sync as well.
Yeah, good observation. Yeah.
Which Sonys are these?
I shoot with these little cube cameras, the RX002s, right?
I have three of them. That's exactly why I know that what the issue is, because I use them.
Yeah, they're I like them because you get them up close together. They can be kind of finicky, but that's Sony for you. But I'm very happy with shots like this that I get with them.
Any camera, like when I shoot with pairs of cell phones, it's even worse. To get that second shot, it doesn't want to sync.
How interesting! I don't know anything that's happening, behind the scenes, exactly how it works, but that's very telling. Yeah.
So those are paired Sony cameras.
Yeah, they're two separate cameras that are connected with a cable. It's their proprietary name, I forget.
The universal remote jack.
It's not that on mine. It's a multi-port. Yes, thank you. Requiring an expensive cable that don't come from very many manufacturers. It's a real drawback. Anyway, thank you. I don't want to take up the whole slideshow. This is also at Lava Beds National Monument. And it's such an interesting shot, I think, with the snow. You can see flake on one of the lenses, but it's definitely a natural scene.
Yeah. Snow is tough.
And here's a little bit of nature with a closer base. This is a juniper tree in Golden Gate Park, and I took it with my red hydrogen 1, which has lenses pretty close together. I made it black and white. It was kind of a gray day. I think it was a gray tree too. And here's some nature. Here's a waterfall. This is from my annual Mount Diablo waterfall hike. Mount Diablo is, I think, the tallest peak in the Bay Area, and it's usually dry as a bone, but when it rains in the springtime, you get these little waterfalls. Nothing like Yosemite or anything, but take what we can get. I like the water in that one.
Wow, I like the color in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one works here because of the reflection. This is actually just by a trail near my house.
Okay, so thank you, Matt. And I don't think Michael is here today, but he gave me some notes, so I can maybe say a little bit about them. This is Mount Lume in Nepal.
Wow.
And this is Arches NP. I assume that means Nature Park, or
It's in Utah? Or
in Utah.
Colorado?
It's a national park.
National Park, okay. And this one is Berenda Lake and Mount Manaslu in Nepal.
With that reflection, sure, it's hard to look at, cause it's the same distance as the mountains, but it's in the water that's close to you.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Not finding it hard. I just it kind of you see it. Yeah.
What point are you pointing out?
The
Dave
reflection in
yeah,
the
Dave was
water,
saying
in
the
the foreground.
Yeah.
Oh.
He described it as you're saying it's hard to look at, Dave.
Well, you expect the water to be there, but then all of a sudden,
Oh yeah.
it's way
Yeah.
down as deep as far away as the mountains.
And that's where all the depth is too. The mountain, there's no depth beyond that water.
That's right.
Yeah.
The mountains
Good
are
point.
kind of flat.
And this is a black trumpet mushroom.
And is that a fairy in it?
No.
It might be, but it's hiding. And these are Boletti. Don't know the exact species.
Boy, they're colorful.
Yeah.
Never seen those.
And these are chicken of the woods.
That's a fungus mushroom.
Mushroom. He just said these three are all mushrooms.
Yeah.
So,
Mushrooms are great subjects.
yeah, if I didn't know it was a mushroom, I wouldn't have any idea what it was.
Yeah.
I think you just made that name up, though.
No, it's actually delicious.
Really, it's edible, huh?
And this is a garter snake. And this is a view of the Himalayan range en route to Manasula Circuit, Nepal. And a view near Inang Monastery in Nepal.
I love it.
And this is Long's Peak in Colorado. And this is a mouse.
My daughter-in-law would just have a fit when she saw that.
Oh yeah. She's freaked out by mice.
Hates mice.
That's a very narrow base. I wonder what camera he used. Maybe a realist macro or something?
It doesn't say.
I'm curious to
You
know.
can make room here
Looks like
on
it's
this
pretty big.
direction too.
Oh,
This is fine.
thank you. I have other chairs if you want a different chair.
You like to sit down here?
We're fine, thank you.
Okay. This is morning view from Molde Peak, Nepal.
Yeah. Now there is some depth between the silhouette of the different range. Ridges, I guess would be the word.
Yeah, that's astonishing.
Yeah.
That's
More
a
than you'd
very white
expect, for
base.
sure.
And these are rhododendrons in bloom in Nepal. And this is sand flea in Sandy Hook, New Jersey.
I wonder how big it is.
Well, you can sort of get a little bit of an idea because it's sitting on that wood stump.
I'd say maybe 2 inches.
2 inch flea.
Yeah, it's shell. That's my guess.
Hello, Dorothy. And this is marijuana
Hello.
in Nepal. Oh, now Bob.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you great.
Do we know where Michael lives?
You know, I probably knew at one time. He has some photos and a little information about himself in the 3D anniversary booklet, so that probably says where he lives. I don't recall.
You think he's in the U.S. though?
No, he is not. He's overseas.
Oh,
Dif-
okay.
Like different time zone that makes it hard for him to attend the meetings.
Sure.
Hello, Lee.
This is in Pella, Iowa. It's near Des Moines, Iowa. They have a tulip festival. Getting close to that time of year here.
Hi, Herb. I just got home.
Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
Same place. This is towards the entrance to Zion National Park. I think it's called the Checkerboard Cliff or something like that.
So there's something in that wall that sort of looks like there's a picture, just in, you see near the lower left corner.
Looks like it's a picture of the mountain.
Yeah, visitors.
That's what it is.
Oh, the
thing.
visitor, okay. That's what
Yeah,
it
that
is.
explains what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
My first reaction was it looks like somebody put an iPad there, but then I realized it was a picture, and then,
This is also Zion looking up at the cliffs. And I snuck under a little waterfall there.
Great light you got.
And now we're switching over to Bryce. Also Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce.
I believe this is near Sedona, Arizona. Ken might know.
no, he's shaking his head no. So.
No.
But it's amazing how clear the sky is. I mean, there's a little haze in the distance, but boy, I have no idea. That must be probably 20 miles away that you're looking at.
Yeah, it can be. It's like that out there. You think, you see a lot of big rocks, and they're further away and larger than you realize.
Yeah.
At least when you're there firsthand.
Hey, you
That's
got
a little friend we saw along the way. Sure has a long tail.
Man.
Spider web. Pretty big spider web, actually.
Yeah,
Huge.
good shot of it in the morning dew.
This is Palisades State Park in Illinois. That's the Mississippi River in the background, and you can see a rock climber getting towards the top of that limestone column.
It's really nice sky too. Great light.
That's the river, I think, in fact.
Oh, it's the river. I see you're going up and down.
Yeah, we're looking down.
Very interesting.
Okay, thank you, Bob and Ken.
Okay, hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
This is in my front yard. I agree, mushrooms are a great subject. We've got a lot of pine trees, and mushrooms love the pine needles. They pop out.
What'd you take that with, Ken?
That's with the Lume Pad.
Oh.
Pretty nice.
And this is, let's see, this was taken in December. This is my backyard. And just after snow, probably 3 or 4 inches. I live in Northern Illinois, just south of Rockford, Illinois. And this is again a yucca plant. This was taken, let's see, a week ago. We had a light snow. And my wife has a birdhouse out there, and a feeder, and same day, and I just stood there with this is with the Beam Pro. The other one was, other two were Beam Pro as well. And I just kind of stayed in until the birds got used to me a little bit. But it was cold. It was about 20 degrees out, so I didn't stay there too long.
Oh, great, you got the bird in there.
And this is probably as close to fresh produce as I'll get for at least a few months. And this is prep for St. Patrick's Day with the cabbage and the red potatoes and the citrus there. So. And there, I thought that was pretty colorful. And again, this was probably on the 17th.
Not a Kroger by chance, is it? Store?
No, it's called a Woodman. And it's like family owned, but it's a franchise here in southern Wisconsin too.
Okay.
I used to go to one in Madison.
Yep.
Okay, and David.
This is the Great Falls of the Potomac River between Virginia and Maryland. They're called Great Falls, but they're pretty puny compared to Niagara. So, but anyway, it's a national or state park, or maybe a national park now, I'm not sure.
But it would stop a boat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm sure the early settlers thought they were pretty good, pretty high. Okay, the rest of my pictures are kind of nature in the neighborhood, like Ken had. This is a beautiful dogwood tree near my house.
That's nice.
A couple of years ago, I think I took these as a close-up of it. It just has the most beautiful shape of any dogwood in the area. And these are some deer in my front yard. I just took a picture out looking out the front door, and there they were. These are all W3 pictures.
Well, they think you're in their yard.
Exactly. Oh yeah, no, they have to run in the neighborhood and eat my wife's flowers. And the rest of these I've shown a couple years ago, but I know there's probably some people haven't seen them yet. These are some baby foxes, well, young foxes, that were born under the deck in the back of my house. And we had several years we had litters born there. Not any for the last couple of years, but that's what you're seeing here. These are totally wild fox that live in the neighborhood. These are actually probably adolescent at this point, but we see them when they're little tiny things that can barely walk around. It's fun to watch them grow up. This is just looking out my kitchen window.
Do you feed them, or they just?
No, you don't feed them. They're just wild.
Yeah.
We often see the parents, though, bring in dead squirrels for them to eat. So what attracts them to our area is a lot of squirrels and chipmunks, which is what they like to eat. And these are in my front yard. They're running around playing with each other. They play just like little kittens or puppies.
So they're not afraid of you?
No, these are all looking out the window. But actually, no, they're not too afraid. You can be in the window and look at them because they're young. They don't know to fear humans. But if the parents see you,
they will shoo the little ones away from you.
This is like real nature photography, like National Geographic.
It's the closest I get from around my house, I guess.
Yeah,
That's a sidewalk right in front of my house. I mean, right in front of the window of my house there.
Okay, thank you, David. And Jim.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what kind of memory that is. But I love the cones.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a nice picture.
Thank you. This is a dwarf tree. I don't know how tall it's going to get. Kelp at the Lincoln City Beach. Rarely, when we go there, rarely we see kelp, but sometimes, this last time, there were lots and lots of it. Piles of it. And this is a molehill.
It was that color?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Looks kind of purple on the TV.
Dirt color. And mushrooms again. And rocks. Can't remember where. This is at the zoo in Seattle. The tiger was sleeping right by the huge window. And the grandkids
Looks like his eyes are open.
Yeah, I think they are.
Dozing.
Yeah. I like the way the head's on the log. That zoo in Seattle is good for photography. They have a lot of fanciful animals made of fabric. Tulips in there about tulip time.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Okay.
And George.
Yes. Hi. I decided to focus on nature 3D close-ups. I do a lot of nature photography, but I'm only going to show close-ups. Now, I'm showing the equipment I use. I start in the order that I acquired them. I started with macro box. When I got my Fuji camera, I got it from Ekeren, 2 Panasonic cameras and a macro box. Then the Panasonic 3D1 camera, the Panasonic 3D lens, and finally twin cameras and long lenses. So let's see some examples. This is example of the macro box.
That's pretty cool.
So how close were you when you took this?
Well, it turns out those cameras had long zoom focal lengths, so I could zoom in and stay a little bit in the back. The macro box allows you to change the stereo base from 0 to 50 millimeters, so be around 10-20 millimeters base, and then zoom in and out, and also synchronize with flash.
So do you know how far away you were from the bee when you took this?
No, I don't remember no.
Okay, well, you only take a few million photos a year, so I don't know how you can not remember.
This is quite old. It's like 15 years old. Now this is a garden snake in my backyard.
Wow. Good close-up.
And this one, those birds, I forget their name now, they were nesting in a box right on the side of my house. So I opened and I put my cameras and then I was firing remotely from my house. And now they're just a few inches away, I guess. Eventually I sold those cameras in the macro box, and that's one of the worst mistakes that I made, because I thought I was getting a better deal with the newer camera, but didn't have the long focal length, so I never got the same kind of close-ups with my new macro box. I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, then other things came up, like the Panasonic 3D camera that has a 30mm base, so if your subject will not bite you and it won't run away, you can get close enough, you can take a close-up.
Well, then one of the mother birds should have made a shot.
Now, then I discovered the 3D lens only has a 10mm stereo base, and it's fully synchronized because it takes the picture in the same frame. It's only one camera being used, and you can use flash very easily, so I've taken a lot of nice pictures with it. They were building a nest on my garage door. So I documented the entire process from the beginning of the nest until it became very large and eventually died when fall came.
Wow.
Finally, the twin cameras and long lenses, this allows me to stay far away from the subject. I use a wide stereo base. Normally I view through both viewfinders so I can see my subject in 3D. I can converge the cameras. It has a lot of advantage, and after I take a picture, I can preview what I've taken in 3D, still on the cameras.
Cool.
This was a captive animal in rehabilitation center, and the interesting thing is there's a fence in front of me, but because I'm using long zoom lenses, the fence kind of disappears, also the background disappears, and the foreground disappears.
You can see the fence reflected in the eye.
Yes. You can see a little bit of a dark band on the right. The next one, I was walking one day, this is really a very small picture, a very small snake, and I saw this and I had to take a picture of it. I assume it's the same snake. Maybe not.
That's vertical, right?
The cameras, yes. This is a green frog. So I can be far away and zoom in, and I just don't disturb my subject. That's the advantage of using the long lenses.
Yeah.
These are swallows. They were building a nest, and by zooming in, I was able to take this detailed picture.
With these long lenses, are you using a tripod or are these handheld?
No, I'm handhelding them, and I'm using like a fast shutter speed, maybe 1,000th of a second. Pretty much I will freeze most of it. So no, I'm holding them in my hands. They're a little bit heavy. And the last one. No, there's a few more. Okay, well, I saw this scene. The squirrels at the nest. These are the babies. I saw it from a distance.
Am I looking at two babies?
Pardon?
Am I looking at two babies there or more?
It's two.
Yes, two. I guess there are two that I could see. Maybe they're more inside. This is just looking from my kitchen window on my left here in the spring.
Wow, nice color, vibrant.
I love taking pictures of squirrels eating the nuts, so I feed them. I feed the birds and the squirrels, and they pose for free. Robin, close up. And this is the last one. I don't have the cute foxes that David has. I wish I had, and they really make very nice pictures like raccoons. So this guy was trying to get into the hummingbird feeder, and I kind of surprised him, and I'm a little bit far away. I cropped the picture. It wasn't long lens, kind of wide angle lenses. So he was kind of surprised to see me, and then he ran away.
So great photos, George.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Steve.
Okay, you're going to see a lot of repeating themes here. Here's a spider web backlit. And a squirrel with a nut. And yeah, they do like it when you feed them nuts. This one actually has an acorn, though, that he found in the park. This is a bee on a flower. I took this with the red hydrogen one, and it's cropped in considerably. And the same with this one, the red hydrogen one. This is again the red hydrogen one.
That's pretty amazing.
This is, I believe, done with my Samsung phone, just burst mode. It take like 20 shots in succession and then choose the two best. It's just a flower again with my phone. This is the red hydrogen one again.
Boy, that's a little bit too far out to be easy seeing.
And this is again the red hydrogen one. And that's actually a really tiny fly. Yeah, this is again the red hydrogen one. And again. And again. This one was taken with my old cell phone, the S4, and I held it over my head and literally ran with the shutter repeating just over and over to get that wide perspective, the wide base. And this again is the red hydrogen one. And this is actually my phone again.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Mark.
Yeah, so one of the things I like to do is keep an eye on the tide table. Go over to the beach when the exceptionally low tides are happening. So most of my pictures tonight are from tide pool expeditions here. So it's a good time to see anemones, starfish, and other creatures that don't normally are not normally accessible during higher tides or even normal low tides. A couple times a year, the tides get down to 2.5 or even 3 feet below zero, which is amazingly low. It exposes a lot of things that are normally not visible like this.
How long can something like that stay out of the water?
I think the tides kind of go in like an 8 to 10 hour cycle, so within 8 hours or so, they'll probably be back underwater during high tide.
So they don't die or dry out or whatever?
No, they seem to be okay. Starfish and anemones.
Wow.
Kind of amazing how the starfish just tangle amongst themselves and tie themselves up in knots almost on top of each other there.
Well, I guess it's a good place to dine out.
Yeah.
They know where the food is.
Lots of sea anemones there.
Colors are amazing.
Some mussels.
The starfish like to eat the mussels. They get on top of it and then crack them open and extract the insides.
Oh, I didn't realize they could do that.
I forgot what this little yellow guy is called, but these guys don't normally expose themselves like this except for when the tide is very, very low. And this is a fairly close-up shot too. The little yellow thing's probably about 2 inches long in reality there. There's a couple of them together. These were taken with the Panasonic lens that was adapted by Dr. T to be used as a close-up lens. Works very well.
They're not sea slugs, right?
I'm sorry, what?
They're not sea slugs or...
No, I don't think they're sea slugs. I should have looked it up before our meeting. There's some other name for those, but I don't recall what they are. The sea anemones are totally different when they're out of water than they do when they're in water. And there's actually a crab right under this one that's sort of nestled in. It's a little hard to see there, but
It looked like a rock.
yeah, just to the left and underneath that anemone, you can see his legs and his shell. And when they're in the water, the little tentacles come out, so they're much more delicate looking than when they're out of water.
And they can sting, right? A lot of these?
I think I don't know if it's harmful to a person. I don't think they sting. I think small prey like fish and things, they can close up on those and sting them. I haven't been brave enough to put my fingers in one to try it.
I've heard it's not recommended.
Okay. And I probably should try polarizing filters. These were just lucky to draw that I didn't get reflections on some of the other water ones here, but 90% of the ones I shot did have reflections, so it was difficult to pull off in water shots like these.
Oh, this one definitely works.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this is again very close. So these little anemones, that might be what they look like when they're after they're first born or hatched or whatever they do. And they've got that little pink color there, but these are probably only less than an inch across each of these little anemones in this picture. Starfish, probably eating the mussels there. Yeah, there's a lot of color to be seen in those tide pools.
Wow.
Okay, thank you, Mark. And Jim, you have some open projector.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is in Wichita. I was there for the 3D convention. And this is a museum there that has quite a lot about airplanes and such. And as you see here, this one's not a real airplane, I think, but it's covered with license plates.
Almost looks like there's a license plate from every state or more. Kansas,
Maybe that's what they did.
Oregon,
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Just move your head back before they can really see the wing move.
Oh, good, thank you. Now this is an art show at our church. And And I put some 3D in, which you will see. And here's my section of the art show.
Does your printer print the right color of blue?
No, but the place where I went in Hollywood does.
Yeah, I tried to print some anaglyph things, and the blue was just terrible. Maybe I ought to try.
So where did you go in Hollywood to get this printed?
Well, do you know where the 42nd Street station is?
I know where 42nd
There's a place called Post-Net inside they have antiques on the bottom floor, and then a restaurant, a beauty shop.
Okay, I can look it up.
One thing you can do when you go in, you can get them to promise that if it doesn't work, you don't pay for it. So this place says they guarantee it, and it's almost right.
Yeah.
Well, good.
You know, I think the 42nd Street station might have been a Fred Meyer like 30 years ago.
It was a supermarket.
Okay.
Or a department store.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one. Anyway, this is in memory of my wife. And you see Spider-Man there. That picture was taken in Anamorphic. So you get this 3D, and then at the art show, there's this musical group. Now this is at Herb Hospital in Seattle, where I was going to visit my brother, and we went out of the hospital on what I think must have been the original entrance, because it has the fancy stuff that you wouldn't find in a modern entrance. Lovely staircase. And looking down, there are some quotes on the window or somewhere, looking down at people having lunch. Now this is another hospital. This is the Providence Hospital in Milwaukee, I think. Sculpture. It's a small sculpture about 3 feet high. This is the detail of it. Now this is, you saw this on the edge of a previous picture. And this is at Oatfield where we used to live. That shadow in the center is my legs. And this is a stairway not too far from Mall 205. And that wonderful sunny afternoon glow of sun.
The shadows look really
Shadows.
The shadows of the handrail make a really interesting zigzag pattern there.
I thought so too, thank you.
Okay, and George.
Oh, he's muted, I think.
Okay, here I am. Yeah, I have a few pictures that I've taken with my X-Real Beam Pro this month. It's spring in Ohio, but still there are no leaves, no green in the trails. That's my wife. Next, we go out every day. We don't have Vinny anymore, and as we say, it's not as much fun, but we try to go out for our trail walk, hike every morning. This is the Cuyahoga River. Next, occasionally I find some interesting subjects to photograph, more than just the nature and trails. Now, you know, one of my hobbies, other than taking 3D pictures, is running. So this weekend I ran 2 races. On Saturday, this was a trail race, 15K, it's about 9 miles. This is the start. The guy on the left He's 60 years old and he finished third overall in this race.
Oh, man.
It's amazing, yeah, that a 60-year-old guy is beating 20 and 30-year-old runners. Next, so the next day after I ran my fast 15K, I went with my friend Ursula to run a half marathon in Youngstown, Ohio. Somebody says, "What were the rest of the runners?" Well, we're kind of the end of we're the last ones in this race, so we're going slow, taking pictures, enjoying the day. Next, the funny thing is there was a police car. It was following us because we're the last runners. It was just right behind us. Anyway, this is Youngstown, Ohio. It's in a very nice park, very scenic area. Oh, and in one aid station, I see two dogs that look exactly like Vinny. They're Australian Shepherds. So this aid station, you can have water and Gatorade. And this guy brought his dogs out, so I was very happy to take this picture. Yeah, a little bit of wildlife on the course. This was a road race, we just ran on roads, but it was a nice view. And of course, the best feeling is when you finish the race. It took us 3 hours, almost 3 hours to run half marathon, but we're very happy to be done with it.
You can see the weekend. You can see the police car there. Finally parked.
One of them, yeah, there's another one. I managed to pass. I passed my friend and two more runners, so the police car is coming behind the last runner. That wasn't me at this time.
Thank you, George. And Mark, you have some open projector.
Yeah, so there's a hillside and mountainside between Portland and the beach that we passed by where they planted a different kind of tree to make this happy face up on the top of the hill here. When I first saw it, I thought somebody had sprayed poison and killed off the trees to create this happy face, but it turned out that they intentionally planted a different variety of tree there.
Yeah, they're aspens.
That is a different color normally than the evergreens around. So actually, there's 3 views getting closer and closer to the same thing here. I stopped off, there's a way station right nearby, so I pulled in there and took these shots just to have a record of it. It makes me laugh every time I drive past it. That smiley face up on the hill there. That's the trees there.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Kind of a big project, yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard it was like 300 feet across or something. It's big. So anyway, it makes me laugh.
Okay. So thank you. So what I'm going to do, this was something that we were going to play last month, but I completely forgot about it. So let me share my screen. This is the last part of the ISU code folio. And so let's play it.